So I did a thing today. But in order to tell you about the thing, I have to tell you a little story. During the writing of this book, a big chunk of it happened here in Pickering in North Yorkshire. Tiny little market town, population a quarter of a football stadium worth of people, maybe 8,000 people total in the town. By English standards, a quiet little town in the middle of nowhere. The other half of the book was written in Joburg, which in many ways couldn't be more different to Pickering, but a chunk of it was written here in my home base. And of course, it's been finished here and it's been printed here. It's been printed in York. It's being distributed out of York. It is a bit of a hometown project. So one of the things I wanted to do, is it ego? Is it affirmation? I wanted the book to be available here in my hometown in Pickering. And I'm in the process of talking to the local bookshop and another bookshop in the town that might stock the book. But I thought, well, let me donate a copy to the local library. So I walked into the local library and I said, here I am. I'm a local author. I have a book that I'd like to donate to you. And they looked at me with doubt, not necessarily disdain, but doubt. And they started to launch into a quite defensive posture of, well, we don't really. And then I handed over a copy of the book, and the librarian visibly changed when she realized that the book was, in fact, to all intents and purposes, a book. It looks like a book. It feels like a book. It has all the aspects of a book. And then she explained to me that in order to be placed in the book, in the library, the book would need to go to the North Yorkshire County Council Central Library, and they were the people that would decide if Pickering Library could stock it. So this group of people, in no way connected to the community of Pickering, in no way with a relationship with the community and the people of Pickering, would decide if a book written by a fat, balding resident of Pickering could in fact be put in the library. It didn't take them long. A lady came back and very disdainfully said, "We don't accept self-published books. Thank you very much, but no." And there was a sense of disdain. It wasn't overt, but there was a real sense of dismissal and disdain, and probably at least another 2 or 3 D words. So I replied to her and I said, well, actually, pushing my glasses up my nose, both physically and metaphysically, I replied to her and I said, well, with respect, it's not a self-published book. It's being published by a small imprinter in Johannesburg, Rogue Reads. It is a published book. It is a book that has been printed by established publishers in York. It is being distributed by those publishers. It is being listed on the wholesale site that deals with these things. It's going to be on, well, it is now on Amazon and iBooks and Kobo. I recommend Kobo. And she came back and said, well, no, but yeah, but no, but yeah, but the computer says no. Similar amount of disdain, similar amount of dismissal. And I was kind of furious. My ego was bruised. My affirmation was bruised. Affirmation was bruised. So I went to the library to pick up my book. They sent it back, and I went to the library to pick up my book. And the librarian came out, clutching said book, and she was clearly apologetic. She was clearly mortified to be having to give me this book back, to have had received this negative reply. In part because the small business that I run here in town, we regularly on our little social media Facebook page, we support the local library. We are a member of this community. But she was very apologetic, and she was clearly very uncomfortable to be having to give the book back. And I said, listen, it's not your fault. I understand. This is the problem. We had a little conversation. And then as she handed the book back, she said, I really liked Lovers on a Train. And I said, oh, did you read it? She said, the book was sitting there on my desk and I thought, let me give it a try. And I read Lovers on a Train, the first story in the book. And I really liked it. And right there, when the local librarian, who had no reason to do so, looked at my book on her desk, waiting for me to collect it, picked it up on her own recognizance and read it and enjoyed it, right there was the affirmation I was looking for. It isn't available in Pickering Library. It isn't something that I can say to the people on the social medias, go and borrow the book from the library. But the librarian liked the cut of its jib, and she read the first story and she liked it, and she was kind enough to say so. So, of course, I said, well, keep the book. Finish reading the book. Enjoy the book. What is it? Like, review, subscribe. Keep it with my with my blessing. And that was almost the end of this story, except today. Today, I took a little walk up to the local high school, and outside the local high school, there is a little box, a little free library. Probably takes 30 books. Little box with 2 open doors, and it's a bring one, leave one, free library, just presenting books for people to come and collect up there outside the high school in Pickering. And I left a copy of my book and a few of the bookmarks in the free library. So the subversion is in the Pickering Library. I'm kind of hoping it won't be there very long. I'd be even happier if it was there and then it wasn't and then it was again. But I got the book into the library and it gave me joy to do so. And it gave me joy to have the librarian at the Pickering Library read the book for no other reason than it was there to be read. And I hope that lots of other people do that too. And I hope that she's not the first, but she's one of the first people to read the book in the wild. I hope she won't be the last. Maybe you'll be one of those. And if you do, if you like it, send me a review. If you don't like it, tell me why. But most of all, the words are there to be read. The words exist to be consumed. Happy consuming. That's it. I'm done. I'll see you next time.